Now this is gonna be day 2, but we're gonna be combining day 1 and day 2. So this is just gonna go in the second page of our interactive notebook, okay? So for this day, it didn't say that we needed to color. So I'm giving you the option, if you wanna color, you can color, and if you do not want to color, that is a-okay. So I just colored in Missouri, because that's what I had time for. But if you wanna take the time to color it, go right ahead. Okay. So now, once we're done with this step, we're just going to cut around this solid line. Okay, that's the first thing we're gonna do. And then we're gonna cut like flaps too. But first, just cut around the square, okay? Okay, now that we're done with that, we don't need those scraps. And then we're gonna make our flaps that we're gonna draw or right under, okay? So in order to make flaps, we're just gonna cut. Do you see this dark solid line? We're gonna cut on those, and we are not going to cut where it says the branches of Missouri government. So do you see how it stops? That's where you're gonna stop cutting, okay? Because we're making those flaps, and you guys should be familiar with this because we've done a bunch of lessons like this before. Okay, perfect. So now we are done cutting. So then we're gonna grab our interactive notebook and we're gonna flip to the page behind your cover page. And if you've been doing it on the other side, that is a-okay. Miss McCurry is gonna do it like this, okay? So now we are going to only put glue on where it says 3 branches of Missouri government. That way, we're able to open our flaps and write underneath. So I'm gonna take my glue stick and I'm only gonna glue here. Okay, once you put glue on that part, put your glue stick back on and we are done with our glue stick. And then I'm gonna paste this in like that, okay? So now we're done cutting and gluing. We're gonna take our pen or pencil or marker, whatever we've been writing with, and we are going to talk about the 3 branches of government, okay? So where it says executive, we're gonna flip that part over and we're gonna write some information under the flap. So we're gonna write, the purpose of the executive branch is to carry out the state laws. So we are gonna write the purpose of the executive branch is to carry out the state laws. Now, if this is too hard to write on, because I'm noticing that my pocket from day 8 of our democracy interactive notebook is super big right here. So if you need to take those out, okay? So under the executive branch, we wrote the purpose of the executive branch is to carry out the state laws. Now, we can close that flap and we're gonna move on to legislative, which is in the middle. So the legislative branch, the purpose of the legislative branch is to create the state laws. So that's what we're gonna write here, the purpose of the legislative branch is to create the state laws. Then we're gonna close our flap because we're done with that one. And then the judicial branch, the last one. The purpose of the judicial branch is to interpret and apply the law. So we're gonna flip our judicial branch flap open and we're gonna write the purpose of the judicial branch is to interpret and apply the law. So we're going to go over them all one more time. So if we open our executive, it says, the purpose of the executive branch is to carry out the state laws. Legislative. The purpose of the legislative branch is to create the state laws. And finally, the judicial branch. The purpose of the judicial branch is to interpret and apply the law. So now we are finished with that day, and great job, everyone.